Go for it, Easy.
What up and welcome to Lions Nation Unite. I am Eazy, joined by the legendary Herman Moore and the legendary, I'll tell you legendary as well, CZ
Legendary.
Stacked Brands. Happy belated Thanksgiving to all those who celebrate. Hope you guys had great times with family. I know I had a great time because Detroit Lions won, and we're here to share with you guys some of our takeaways, starting with you, H-Man. How'd you feel, man? We posted some of your highlights over there on Woodward.
Always, man. You know what?
Thanksgiving Day.
Come on, man. Thanksgiving is it. I had mentioned this. It used to be where it was our Super Bowl. It used to be the Detroit Lions Super Bowl. No longer is that. It's a normal game. It's one where people come out for festivities. They come out for the energy of the environment of Ford Field. And if anything, more so than anything, it feels good to be a Lions fan. It feels good to be a Lions alum, right? Chrissy, how does it feel to be a former employee of the Detroit Lion organization? You know what I mean? So
yeah, first of all, I have cats everywhere, so just enjoy cats.
Felines.
That was like the most
Like that though.
Lions ending by the Bears. I continue to be blown away that you say, like, as a former Lions employee, every time all the teams they're talking about that are not the Lions is everything they always said while we were playing about us. Like, even during the Bears, they're like, you know, if they just get this piece or this piece going, they could have been 7-4. They could have been this and this. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like deja vu, only it's not, they're not talking about us.
They are. Yeah,
I actually didn't feel bad for the Bears. I'm not even going to say I felt bad. It was just.
I did.
I
actually
I was just kind of like, what just happened? And then did you see that he actually was like, I'd do it again?
Who would do it again?
He said he was like, yeah, we meant to do that. That was
coach. You know what happened? Like 15, 20 minutes ago?
No, I didn't see that. I'm gonna tell you why. Now I'm gonna just say this. Don't know the coach, right? I'm never one to sit back and just go in hard on anyone. I'm not going to criticize. I'm not doing that. Let's just stick with what it is. Let's stick with the facts.
All right, Herman.
Anyone who would say they would not change anything, they would do the exact same thing they've done, and you walk away with a loss, that means I would do the same thing that cost me a loss. The same thing that gave me an opportunity not to go into overtime on the road in the division against the division leading team to get my team back on track. I got a problem with that. Everyone should have a problem with that because you would want to do something different. Otherwise, you get in the same outcome. Makes no sense. That could be pressure. That could be defiance. That could be whatever you want to call it. That's causing you to say something like that. But that's the wrong message to send to your team. They had done so much to get into that position. Now, I'm granted, man, they got their butts kicked in the first half. They came back and played a methodical second half. The Lions didn't put in, they weren't at their best. Okay, let's admit that. But you put your team that came from a disastrous beginning to an opportunity in the end to win. And there was no plan. And I mentioned this. I told you guys, I said, listen, I don't have a problem with Caleb. But when you put them in situations and they have to respond, things will happen. And we saw that. That's what we saw. And then you got a coach that's, I mean, I would go back and rethink that answer.
Has there ever been any teams, and there could be, and I just don't remember, that fired their head coach and then went on to like contend? Are there any interim head coaches that did well?
I don't know if there have been, but there's always this spark.
Cowboys coach did, right?
But there's always a spark that happens. Anytime you let a coach go, depending on what that coach's rapport is with the team, it makes a difference. You take like Jim Caldwell. If you release a guy like Jim Caldwell middle of the season, you're going to have a problem. You release a guy like Dan Campbell, let's say he wasn't having as great a year and the things haven't gone as great as they've gone, but he's got that connection with the team and you let him go, there's going to be a problem. When you have players who are visibly frustrated and they're only going to stand by their coach so long, because at the end of it, you can stand by a coach or you can stand on winning. And teams now stand on winning. I think teams want to stand on winning. I would hope.
Did you ever have a coach let go during the season while you were playing?
Oh yeah. Well, we had one, and Coach Bobby Ross. We had a situation where he left. He decided on his own because he had said during that time it was health issues that he decided to leave and that he be a part of the team kind of midway. We're kind of through the season. We had a few games left. And at that point, we were going to have to bring in an interim coach that's going to take over. And you're going to get a little bit of a lift. You're going to get a little bit of a spark because you feel the flame and you feel the fire leaving the other coach. If players get a sense of that, then they're going, don't wait to leave. We want you to leave now. We want the organization to make changes now. We don't want it to wait any longer. And right now, that's what they're saying. You know, the Bears, in my understanding, they have never fired a coach, you know, in the midpoint of the season or while they were in season. Not to say that that won't happen now. But
it did.
No, yeah.
They like 20 minutes ago, they let him go.
Oh, 20 minutes ago. Well, there you go. And, you know, because I'm a Lions fan, I don't take care of what's happening over there in Bears land. But I'll tell you this.
Bears land.
Hey, man, whatever. Listen, all I'm saying is this. You can't justify what we saw as being good in any capacity. You can't justify in what we saw if you're a coach saying that I wouldn't change anything that I've done. Who says that? Who said? There's no person who I know walks out of a game and go, you know what? I did everything perfect. I want you just think about the simplicity of that.
Right.
So that's unfortunate. You don't want anybody losing their job. You don't want to see people lose their passion. But at the same time, it's for what's going to be best for the overall, and you know, for everyone.
Yeah, I guess the context behind that too is he called the quarterback draw so they get closer for a field goal and taking overtime, which I don't know why you want to play overtime football with this Detroit Lions offense, but whatever. That was the game plan. But then Caleb, with like 16 or 13 seconds left, changed it to the throwing play that ended up going with. But at that point, though, you still have the timeout. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because like if you don't get that throw off, then you don't even get a field goal at all. Like you need at least 8 seconds to get that off. It's whatever. I found his face afterward because it is unfortunate, right? It sucks when somebody loses a passion, but like his face at the end of it when he was just like, he was just like, that's what happened. It was the funniest thing. I swear to you guys, I rewound that like 5 times. I was dying. It was something out of a movie, but like in real life, you know, life imitates art.
It's but you know, I still go back, man. I'm looking, and every time they play it, and then look at how much time they had. I mean, you got 2 guys on the left side trying to decide who's on the ball, who's off the ball. You got the quarterback changing the play. Time is ticking down. You got coach sitting on the sideline. He's just like this. Like, yeah, we got all time in the world. No big deal. They got 1 timeout. You're in field goal range, and you have so many options, and you have so much time, and you call the play at what, 5 seconds, 8 seconds, or something like that.
It was snapped with like 5 seconds on the clock. I'm sitting
there going, "There's no way,
criminal.
There's no way."
Yeah.
Even if you spike it at that point, you're gonna have what, 3 seconds, 2 seconds.
Yeah. So
it's crazy because it used to be us on Thanksgiving doing weird stuff like that, you know.
Well, I hope it was never that bad. I mean, I've seen us have some misfortunes, right? Oh, Chrissy's got the face going. Listen, maybe we had some misfortunes, but I just don't remember where it was just. Or maybe I just got a short memory because of all the winning. I don't know.
Look,
I'm just saying.
First of all, I went through 0-16 on the team. So yes, we had some struggles. It was very difficult. The one that always drove me crazy was whenever the starter and quarterback would go out, the backup quarterback would come in, and then we'd be in the press box and have to hear the backup's name over and over again. And the one that I'm reminded of more than anything is Chris Winkie. Remember Chris Winkie?
Man, yeah.
And he came in and beat us, and it was like Winkie pass, complete for a first down. Winkie pass, and then there was always like, this was the first time this person has scored a touchdown in their entire career to win the game. It happened all the time. Yeah. And I love everybody, and it's like, but it's just, it is what it is.
I think one show we'll have to come in and regale a lot of the stories that I think people will find humor in. I tell them to grab their favorite beverage, whether it's coffee, tea, something strong, or whatever it may be, and just sit back and let's just chop it up and shoot chop.
There's some good stuff. But hold on, real quick before we move on. There's a couple things. So Malcolm Rodriguez is out for the season with an ACL. Is out there as of today, and then Jameson Williams. Everybody's talking about Jamo, and
I want to get to that because I know there's a couple things, CZ, that since you brought that up, because I want you to start throwing up. You or Eazy start throwing up a couple of those comments. But first, let's give some shout outs, man. Brian, Rob, Shift God. Let's see what else we got. Dwayne, Burgess, just a fan. What's up?
Just a
fan. What else we got up in here?
Fan.
Hey, what's up, man? Detroit 313, East Side.
East Side up.
What nationality is Eberflus?
You got Ed O'Neill. What's up? You know, Lisa, always appreciate being in. So let's talk about a little bit, right? Hey, what's up, Lisa? Let's talk a little bit. So I know we saw some comments about Ben Johnson. We'll talk about that. I saw, you know, Chris, you just brought up Jamo and his ball toss. Here's something that's
everybody's talking about it. I personally, whatever, but I mean, that's what everybody's talking about.
Here's what's interesting. If you go back and look at every play when he caught a pass and he would stand up, he would flip, he would like flick the, and I think we get caught into the excitement of it, and I get it, and it's become a very animated league, and we become very much whatever. And I saw the one comment where they said, "Listen, man, I remember you could stomp on quarterbacks." You could pull a face mask. You could do all. It's a sensitive league. It's a sensitive.
Something was not encouraged.
It used to be. Listen, I got fined. I'm not kidding you. I'm gonna try and see in my little stash when I start doing my unboxing if I can find some of the fines I received. I used to get fined for showing too much blue in my sock. I got fined.
You really think they don't do that anymore?
Hold on. I got fined for accidentally bumping into an official. I got fined for when I was trying to plead to an official and he didn't want to hear what I wanted to say, and all I did was touch him on his shoulder. It's like 15 grand, right? And so when you're flicking the ball at the player, yeah, I think that's, you know, that was a little much, right? I mean, you're on the sideline, you're right there in front of the official, and something bad's going to happen. You just got to dial it in, because, and the only reason why I bring that up and I say I would definitely pull them down and say, hey, let's talk about this for a little bit, because imagine if that was at a critical part of the game. Every part of the game is actually critical, and you do that, you don't want to have to learn that lesson the hard way. So let's not even develop those habits, and that's not really what they are. And I get moment. I love this guy. I know people are going to have their mixed emotions and reactions about him, but I think he's one heck of a player. I think as he continues to mature, he's gonna have a breakout game. He's gonna be on the map. You can see the confidence rising. You can see the confidence rising in just the way in which he's catching the ball, and then, you know, everything that he's doing after that. But it's just to dial him in a little bit and say, you know what, control it. You know, have that be between you and your teammates. Have that excitement, and step away from it on that side. But that's what I got for him. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about the.
I mean, it was a bonehead move. I mean, it is what it is. I think he knows that. At least he should know that. I hope that's a takeaway from it, because it did cost him an extra 15 yards, and Jake Bates ended up missing the field goal. But as a fan who realized we still won the game, in hindsight, I thought that was hilarious. I thought that was awesome.
I think you're the one to really speak to it. I mean, what happens when you're in the heat of the moment? You know, like.
Well, I'm gonna listen, man. I'm not gonna be a hypocrite. I used to sit there. I would get up. I would catch. You know what? I would catch a pass. Guy get up because we're jawing and everything's going on, because we don't, as fans and as people, you don't know the type of stuff that people are saying, and you could casually be walking by a guy, and I pay attention to St. Brown, Jamo, any of those guys when they get up. Look at how the corners come in and they say something. You could tell they said something.
Yeah.
And some of the things they say it's funny. Some things are tongue in cheek, but some things are just kind of like, man, dude, you crossed the line, right? And then that starts to go on for 60 minutes. Now, I used to stand up. I would spike the ball right there in front of the official, the player, everyone, just blatantly right there. And it was an emotional piece. It was, and I've seen some comments in here about maturity. I think I lacked maturity at that time when I was doing it. You know, Barry was trying to be the one that was the model, and he would hand the ball. And I don't necessarily agree with that, you know, and people can hate me for that. Like, if you want to hand the ball, that's your style, right? If you don't want to spike it when you get in the zone, that's your style. But if I spike it and it's a rule that says I can, then I do what I do. That there's a celebration that's allowed. So I didn't always buy into that. Act like you've been there. Well, I don't know when I'm coming. This might be the last time I'm in the end zone. I don't know.
Yeah.
But so I just think I'm not gonna harp on that too long. But I think that it's just being conscious of it, and more so than anything, understanding that this team is better. It has good character, but also it's a dog. They're dogs, man. They go out and they play, and I'm not gonna pull that back too much.
100%. I agree.
And it's coffee, by the way.
It is 1:07 in the afternoon, but
I drink coffee all day. Caffeinated
I meant if you were saying it was like something else, like
Oh no, I'm just saying. I know, but sometimes people, they got little flash, they got all kind of stuff they be putting them adult beverages in the middle of the day.
There's
on
a
a Black Friday
that came with the drink I bought from the family yesterday. And I was like, I got a flask. I'm like, I'm an adult now. I'm a grown up. I gotta start using this, but I'm not. I left at the house.
Yeah, I haven't drank for like 7 years, so ain't me.
There you go. I'm just sick and tired of all the injuries. It makes me want to cry. It's just a fan. Herman, have you ever been on an injury-riddled team that still had like somewhat projections or expectations?
I have. It's when you have the depth that this team has, the injuries aren't as bad unless they come in specific positions. Look at it. We've already had some people get injured along the offensive line. We've seen the defensive line have injuries. We've seen them having to do some things in the secondary to compensate for guys coming up and down, even bad draft picks, right? I won't say call them bad draft picks, but draft picks that didn't quite pan out. If there's anything we should get from this is the confidence of how this organization has put together and developed the depth. Most people have to go and shop to get depth. They have to go and make trades and changes. They have methodically over the years developed the players to understand the system. The system has stayed intact. They have not panicked when things haven't gone well. They didn't implode. They didn't tear stuff up. They just said, listen, let's peel it back. Let's look at what we're doing. Let's work harder. Let's find the right people to understand how to work within our system. And in doing that, they said, we're going to work with only who we have and next man up. Now, that used to just be kind of a toss way. And Chris, you know this. Everybody used to go in, oh, next man up. And everybody says, yeah, it's the next person on the roster. Whoever's in the depth comes up. They could be terrible, not even prepared, ill prepared. But there's confidence that comes in. Look at Muhammad. Came right in, sack, boom, right off the bat, right? Mm-hmm. You see Smith, he came in. They feel he was the right player. Hutch goes down. They ultimately get Za'Darius to come in, and he's in there creating havoc. You get Aleem McNeil, he's playing well. All of a sudden now you got guys that weren't the main name starting out. Houston's gone, right? That's coming in, and the defense is still playing well up front. Pressure isn't, they got 5 sacks, I think, yesterday or whatever. But, I'm not so much worried about the injuries right now. I just think that they've developed the talent enough. I'm looking at numbers and names coming in the other day, and I'm like, well, I'm looking through the program going, let's see who is. Have a program. Not program, but the list. I'm old school. I'm sitting there going, who is number 40 this? And
well, no, and what's interesting, though,
number 30 running around.
I mean, when Coach came in, though, I will say, Herman, that's what we talked about before, was building a team the right way and building it with depth instead of trying to put Band-Aids on top of everything. And they've really done that, and it's really showing up,
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So appreciate the shout outs. Broken System, Broken Trust. Roxanne, what's up? But no, Christy, I think for you, I've actually, there's a lot of things that you and I, we always go back and forth. Easy, Christy and I, because we came in different time frames and we've seen the organization at different stages. And it's so interesting to hear the consistency of how the organization and the locker rooms were built up until literally this time frame. Everyone's had kind of a way, and they've been similar because coaches have used similar styles. They've used similar techniques. They've used similar ways in which to prepare. The upstairs has been the same.
Well, I'm pretty sure Coach Patricia blew everything up, but other than that, it's been pretty consistent.
I mean, but you see it starting to dial in a little bit more, right? And it used to be the same old, rinse and repeat. you know, players and coaches coming from different places. They go get their same players they had in other systems. They bring them over, and to their credit, man, they haven't done that here. I think they've got a lot of people they could tap into, but they've developed their own team here, and their own, you know, group of players. You don't look at how many go, oh, I played for that guy over here. You don't hear a lot of that.
Well, and that's a testament too to the front office with patience, you know, because historically there hasn't always been patience, but just, you know, confidence in coach and just what they're doing. And yeah, I mean, even players that were looked at as, why'd you draft that player there, is I'll keep my mouth shut about. I have one on video of a reaction of somebody being drafted that is pretty funny.
Yeah.
No one on this stream, but someone was like appalled at a particular draft pick, and that particular draft pick is like one of our marquee players now.
Oh yeah. I had, you know, that was a few.
His last name would be the same as and give me a shout out in the comments if you know the group, please. Same as the Bee Gees. Who knows the Bee Gees? Come on, somebody does.
Oh,
Somebody knows
the group, like the group Bee Gees.
And the family that was in the Bee Gees, their last name was.
Hey man, I'm from that part. That wasn't really Bee Gees. If you want to ask me about,
thank you, Rob.
What we got here?
Thank you, Lisa.
Lisa, all right, Lisa, Rob. Hey, what set y'all claiming?
The one
because I want to know, because for some reason I wasn't.
The Staying Alive one.
That's what the Lions did during that game yesterday. The second half wasn't so great.
Oh, hold on. Before we get into that question, hold on. There was one here, Herm. Here you go.
All right.
I was a kid at your practice asking for autographs on my 1991 Lions yearbook. I got almost all the signatures, including 84s and Barry's.
Oh wow. Okay. Who are you missing? Put in the comments who you're missing.
Oh, there's another question too. When do you think the Scott Mitchell statue will be going up at Ford Field, sooner rather than later?
Yeah, I think they should put that inside of the atrium.
They were staying.
Stop playing with my boy. That's my boy, man. Scott. I always tell people, man, everyone always goes, man, what would it be like, man, if you played with this quarterback or that quarterback or this? If you haven't learned anything, go ask St. Brown who quarterback in the NFL, if he could have his pick, he would play with other than Jared Goff. Go ask Jared Goff what receiver he would rather throw the ball to other than St. Brown and the guys he's to. It is a rapport. There is a trust that gets built, and a non-verbal communication that you cannot buy. You have to earn, you have to practice, you have to prepare, you have to go through trial and error, up and down, wins and losses. And then ultimately the trust becomes unbreakable. And so when people always want to say certain things about, and I know no one's saying anything about Scott, but Scott, I'm telling you, like, I wouldn't trade him for any quarterback.
There you go, Herm.
Because we don't like Scott. Come on. Show my boy some love. For me, just for me. Would I want to play with Joe Montana? No. Would Joe Montana want to play with me? He may go, hell no, I don't want to play with him. I'd rather keep my boy Jerry. I want to keep so-and-so. I want to play with John Taylor. You know, he may want to keep those. I'm just telling you. People always ask me about the guys. I wouldn't trade Brett Perriman. I would not trade Johnny Morton. The guys I played with, the trust, the dependability, what I knew these guys were. I knew their brand. I knew their fabric. And when you know these about players, you can find more talented players. You can find players who may be more athletically inclined and more gifted, you know, physically, all these other things, speed and all this. But when you have to go onto the field, when you know you have an unbreakable bond and you can bicker, you can be like brothers and fighting all day. But I'm going to tell you this. You just won't trade those people out because you know they're going to lay it on the line for you. You bring in somebody else, that person ain't going to have the same chemistry. I mean, they ain't going to have the same loyalty. And I'll tell you how I know this. We brought in other quarterbacks. When a backup quarterback comes in, how often do you see the backup quarterback throw to the guys that he was throwing to in practice more so than he does the starter? Aha. You know why? Comfortable. Rapport. He knows that guy. And then they have to go over and go, you see the one guy going, why in the hell are you not throwing me the ball? He gets upset. He gets bothered because that guy doesn't feel comfortable with you. He's never thrown the ball to you in practice. You're going to be missing each other. That's why it looks crappy when those backups come in and they haven't had the reps that they need with that one. So that's all I'm saying, just to bring it in why I'm always defending Scott and all those, but I'm going to defend him anyway. That's my boy. That's my teammate. I have loyalty. Care what nobody says.
Very loyal. Herman is very loyal.
Let's do this for me, Eazy, Chris. When we hit up some of these questions in here, I like when we love the fact that you all are chiming in.
Barry got to play with Herman.
So let's just knock out a lot of these. When we turn the show, man, we want to make sure this show really drives you and makes you happy, and that we're addressing you. So let's hit these up. All of us, we can jump in any of the crew we have on here. So let's read them out for us.
Need Jason Pierre-Paul to help alongside Zadarius. Do you think that may be an option for Detroit?
What do you think,
Eazy? Personally, for me, I think, and maybe I don't even know if it's really a one-off, but Al-Quadin Muhammad, or however you pronounce his name, I know yesterday he was on it. I know he had 1 sack. I know he had a pressure towards the end of the game. I thought he did a really good job, honestly. And Zadarius Smith, I mean, I feel like he's playing just as well as any other edge rusher since joining the Detroit Lions. And I may suck to lose Pascal, and it does suck to lose Levi and Zarike. Both guys also play inside. Yeah, you gotta go grab somebody. I wouldn't be opposed to grabbing JPP, but what version of JPP are you getting? Because he was old when they won that championship in Tampa.
Come on, man.
So I don't know.
Oh, come on.
I'm sorry. He was
he's a veteran.
Yeah,
he's a veteran.
Like that's one of those though that I'm like, they're still playing.
I was thinking the same thing. Like, we still playing?
Like they're still playing. Like they were playing when I was working there. Like,
but hit this one up. Like, so I'm gonna just chime in very briefly on that one. I think the team has, as I said before, there's a level of comfort of the players, because you know how to plan around what they're good at, what they're bad at. Aaron Glenn can work defensively along with his other position coaches on scheme and things of that nature, because they know what to avoid. They know what to prepare for. They made it very clear that this is a organization that's all about chemistry, and they're all about fit of the players. They will get the name if the name makes sense, but they'd rather get a person who aligns more with the need that helps the system as a whole than just that person just being a good person on an island by themselves. So I think when we look at that, think of this, people. This is what makes it very cool about the strategy. And I love the new non-traditional way in which they're thinking. They don't have to go and always find superstars to be a great defense. They just have to go find role players. And they understand what makes their defense go. They understand where it's broken, and they try and fix those pieces without dismantling everything, because they got to sell the farm just to get one player, because it makes everybody happy to know that we have a marketable name.
Well, won't it be easier at certain positions to plug and play too than others?
It is. Yeah. Just like you need a kick returner, right? you go in, you find someone, you go, we got to get somebody back there that can return kicks and punts. You replace Khalif Raymond. I like the philosophy because it allows you to really keep a narrow focus on when something breaks. You can go, it's just like when your tire, imagine if you had to go fix your whole car because you wanted to get some Pirelli wheels versus saying, hey, I don't really need Pirellis. I just need some dependable, almost brand new tread or really good tread tires. So my car still rolls down the road and it has nice traction to the street, and it's all weather or based on whatever I'm doing.
Right.
That's the same thing. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The car is not broken. You just need to fix the wheel.
Yeah. Well, obviously you need talent, but is it better for everybody to be on assignment working together than it is to be like good independently and not on the same page?
But here's the thing. You do need talent. Yes. But you also need players who are disciplined. If you can see in anything. Huh?
That's what I just said.
No, I thought you said as far as talent.
I said, obviously you need talent, but isn't it better for everybody to be working and being on assignment, working together than it is to have independent talent doing their own thing?
Absolutely, Miss Chrissy.
Thank you.
Ultimate CZ. I'm just saying, I just like that they've simplified the process of replacing players by developing with a long-term strategy, the team, and the position strength and depth.
Yeah.
By taking a C player, making them a B player, taking a C minus player, making them a C plus or a B minus player. Like by doing that, you're constantly up leveling your roster in the depth without having to go outside of it. And you keep the consistency there. The vernacular stays the same. The playbooks stay the same. And as you add these little things, like we see them throwing these little tricks, Panay Sewell, come on, man. Coming around
Man,
on
that was crazy.
Man,
well, he just made a meme for everybody is what he did. Those memes are hilarious.
Right. Oh my God. Then they still couldn't tackle him. It was like
that he's a monster.
I almost up my video of me doing my best Panay Sewell thing there.
Please, I would appreciate that as your social.
I'm jealous because I never got to do a end around pass. No one ever. They never gave me that. I had a pretty good arm. They never gave me the opportunity to throw a pass. Damn, and they giving a lineman the opportunity.
It's crazy because they do them. I think they call them fat 40s or something like that every Friday. The lineman flight conditioning. They just go out there and Panay's out there just bomb and throws to him. And like they joked about it, I think like 3-4 weeks ago about Panay having a pass coming, and they weren't lying, obviously, because he almost did it yesterday. Real quick to Jorge's question, I do want to let you guys know the Detroit Lions did sign linebacker Quan Alexander off the Broncos practice squad, so he'll be joining the team after that Malcolm Rodriguez unfortunate injury. So as a brand name for you guys.
All right, so as we're saying things too, like the Slam and Samoan. So we've got our Sonic and Knuckles gear that people are getting. That looks awesome, by the way. It looks really good on T-shirts because the design is very big and it's awesome. But we, Herman put out a call for our creative team yesterday that we want to know, what Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph should be called because what did Branch say? Smash and grab, and then Kirby said no.
And Kirby said no.
It's like nah. So everybody needs to put in their opinions. What should their nicknames be?
Yeah, we're looking for those, and for those we're gonna vote on them, and then once we let you all vote and we put in our cast of things that we think make sense, we're gonna hook up whoever's slogan or whoever their nicknames that come up with the best nicknames, and we decide to put those on the shirt. We're gonna hook you up with some serious swag. Like we're on Print Factory. That's something we'll talk about later down the line. We have our own print company in Detroit, so we do all our gear. We don't outsource any of that stuff. All print. Ready for you anytime we want to do it. So as we come up with ideas or you come up with ideas, we can make them happen the next day, same day, whatever we want to do. So hook us up, give us some nicknames for two safeties, our dominant safeties, Branch and Joseph. We'd appreciate that.
The blanket in the back, that's the Herman Lowe Vegas. Yeah, that's Herman Lowe from the Raiders. But yeah, no, I like Thunder and Lightning. It wasn't terrible. Herman, I know exactly what you'll say when I say this one. I saw peanut butter and jelly. Go ahead, Herman. Go ahead.
Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly.
So the one that I was laughing at was somebody said also wet bandits because they steal your stuff and flood your house.
I already gave you my two, and I'm not going to tell them just yet. I want to hold on to them.
I want to know now.
Lockdown and shutdown.
Oh no, you didn't.
Oh, yeah.
But that's cool.
I like Lockdown and Shutdown.
Ooh, Reaper and Shadow. I like that, Thomas.
Hans and Franz.
Bump and grind. Hey, Doughboy, come on, bump and grind.
Yeah, bro.
It's got some bump and grind.
It's like
Hans and Franz.
Yeah. People
I like Smash and Grab.
Come on, Wayne. Hold on, man. Wait. Hold on. No, hold on.
What?
Hold on. What we got here?
Which one
we got here? Wayne. Wayne. You had to explain a little bit deeper there, man. What are you talking about?
Laser and phaser. Hit and run.
Reaper and Shadow. Okay.
Reaper and Shadow sounds cool.
The Reaper.
Laser and Fraser. Hey, y'all got to go get some adult beverage or take advantage of Michigan's cannabis laws or something there. Yeah, come on. I know y'all can get a little bit more creative than this.
I don't know. Maybe everybody's hungover. I mean, maybe they got to just.
No, they can do better. Come on. Not that anything that anyone's done is not great, or ain't nothing wrong with a little bump and grind. Oh man, peas and carrots.
Bad Boys.
So do you
Someone
hear the
said.
reason why Gibbs
Death
and
and
Monty
destruction.
didn't go with peanut butter and jelly?
What was
Huh?
that?
'Cause, like, the reason why Monty and Gibbs didn't go with peanut butter and jelly, because that's what they were calling them before,
Yeah.
and they were like, no one wants to be jelly. Who said to be your nickname? You're like, here comes jelly down the hole. Like, no, you know what I'm saying? Like,
That's a solid
I
We
point.
got Jelly Roll.
The
yeah, I
safety
guess.
belt.
Somebody save me.
Which
Come on.
game was he at yesterday? The Cowboys?
I don't know.
I
Like
don't know.
Jelly Roll.
Pick and
Herm,
lock.
did they do halftime performances when you played on Thanksgiving?
Hit stick. Huh?
Did they do
Halftime
halftime
performance?
performances?
Yeah, hey man. What was the heel toe we saw over there at the I saw another one on somebody. It was another halftime show I was watching. I kind of woke up, took a nap. There was something I was watching the other day. Wasn't there was it Miami? No, it was the lady who was playing the violin or whatever on the field.
That
Green
sounds
Bay?
dope. Probably, maybe. I don't know. I might have missed it.
Anyone knows? Anyone watched the halftime for Green Bay?
I mean, I could just Google it.
The Dolphins. I could have sworn I woke up. Maybe I was dreaming. I saw somebody in the snow playing a violin or something.
Yeah, it was Lindsey Sterling. Lindsey Sterling.
Yeah, it was. So I was right then, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm making sure I'm not crazy.
It
no,
says,
I'm like this. I wake up.
It says NFL
like
Twitter
this,
rips NBC for barely airing any of it.
and then she's doing like leg kicks and snow's coming down. I'm like, man, am I dreaming? What's going on here? And I'm like, so in Wisconsin, you mean to tell me? I'm not throwing shade. You put out an RFP or a call to all the agencies. We need a banging halftime show.
I just remember
They got you violinists.
I just remember the when everybody lost their minds over Nickelback. I didn't know there was so much hatred for Nickelback, and like they announced Nickelback was gonna be the halftime, and everyone lost their minds.
Yeah, but I feel like they got good songs though.
They lost their minds. Like there was like a revolt that Nickelback was
as
gonna be
much
the
as like
halftime
people
show.
make fun of them, they got some bangers. Like
So
Photograph.
did my daughter got some bangers.
Bangers. Black and Blue. I don't mind that one.
Let me see. I gotta look that up. Hold
Okay,
on.
we got hits. We got hit sticks. WC versus NWO. Let's see.
Law
Crash
and
Burn, we
Order.
said.
And here comes
Honolulu
Law.
Blue Wrecking Crew. Okay.
Nickelback is awesome. That's a weird nickname.
One is an
That's good.
island. Two is
Atoll.
Atoll. No chance. Atoll.
Mm-hmm. No
Oh,
chance at
I
all.
guess
Seek and Destroy.
No chance at all.
Law
That's
and
all.
Order.
I know. My buddy Danny's trying to get the Seek and Destroy
Black and
song
Blue.
going, but I'm like, who's gonna be Seek? Like Kanye did with Jelly. Like,
I like Black and Blue.
I
The
like
nuke, the bomb. Okay.
Okay.
Bomb the Nuke. I think
Used to
Reaper
be the
Shadow is my
Fog,
favorite
huh?
so far.
I want to make you a fog shirt. The fog.
Huh? The Fog. That's it.
Crash and Burn.
That just sounds like you're
Like,
Ooh,
like
got-
not quite working out.
Wayne's
Fast and
trolling
Furious.
today.
Who's
Who's
trolling?
trolling? Okay. All right.
They're way overrated. All right, so let's
There we
hang
go.
out there because you're on the nation. So Wayne, not that we're putting you center stage. So explain to us. Just we'll wait. We'll talk a little bit. You can take some time there, even if you have to jump in AI or do whatever you got to do. But once you put in there, like when you say there are no show and crunch time moments yesterday and they're overrated, just give us a look. Just elaborate just a little bit.
Well,
That
we
sucks for
might be-
certain players, man, because like they play so well that the expectation of them grows, and it's fair to a certain extent. But like things with interceptions, that's not like that's not gonna happen every single game. You know what I'm saying? The fact that it was happening at the rate it was happening was insane and truly a
Yeah.
testament to how good they were playing. But like to have that expectation of those two every game,
Mhm.
it's kind of wild. Maybe
Right.
one,
Now-
win every other game, sure.
Are
But every
safeties
game,
and interceptions typically more like being in the right place at the right time versus coverage?
No, I mean,
safeties can make it happen.
Just
Cornerbacks is more
curious.
right place, right time.
I'm not saying because of lack of talent. I'm saying because of scheme.
no. Here's the advantage that a safety has. If you can run, especially if you're playing halves like they play. Typically, sometimes they have someone that patrols the middle and they bring a safety down, but typically they're back and they're playing some type of a 4 cross or a soft 2 or some type of a coverage that where they're playing quarters. And when they get to see everything, that's what you have. When you have instincts and you can be that, you can anticipate, you see the plays developing, and you do what's called route recognition. And as you know what's happening with the routes, you're able to then anticipate what the offense is trying to do to you. Plus, you've already planned during the week. You know what their tendencies are, and then you're coaching everybody. So you got all this information that's coming in. You know, this intelligence, and then it gives you probability of things that you should make moves on and you shouldn't take moves on. That's why you see coaches get furious when they go, "Why did you bite on that? You knew that was coming. You knew what was coming, right?" We know, we kind of know, and it's just about execution at that point. Here's where I will, let's be fair. Does the secondary play flawless football? Absolutely not. Do they make mistakes? Absolutely. We see the corners again. I'm going to keep harping on it. They get exposed in man-to-man coverage. Anybody wants to fight me on that? I'll tell you this. Go back and watch. That's all I'll tell you. And it's not to criticize. It's just not the strength of this team. However, I don't think the strength of these safeties coming down playing lock man-to-man on slot receivers is also a smart deal, because even though they are safeties and even though they have the ability to cover, I think they're better at covering probably the running backs to the tight ends more so than their ability to constantly and consistently cover slot receivers, which we saw them get exposed with on the 1 touchdown pass, right? And on one of the plays. So definitely I think they have weaknesses like any other safety is going to have. Are they going to be the best cover safeties in man-to-man coverage? I don't think we're going to know that, because they're not going to be put in that position. And when they have been, there are some. But when they're out there patrolling the deep thirds, I'm challenging people just to call them overrated. You can't call them overrated. You can't say that these are guys that aren't playing well. These are really good, disciplined safeties that have done a tremendous job. Go look at how this team has performed against teams in terms of giving up those big plays over the top.
I would just love to see the stat over like safeties or just DBs in general, but tip passes versus like a catch, like a true interception, like, because I feel like safeties often have those tip passes.
Yeah, I feel like they get them all, man, just because they got everything in front of them. They then crash down. They see a quarterback make a mistake, or just locking Keenan on one guy the entire time. He just knows that ball's coming. But I'll say it's like Kirby and Branch. Branch had 1 touchdown lit up on him. And I do think it was a third of the day. But Kirby was out there making plays. Like, I'm not ready to, I guess, crap on them guys or say that they fell apart at all. And sometimes, too, man, like the other players, they cash checks, too. And Caleb Williams, he was drafted #1 overall for a reason. That was a good throw. DJ Moore, he's paid like the second highest paid contract for wide receiver like he's also a good wide receiver. Like, you gotta take your hat off sometimes for the team. They make plays.
Yeah, and I think there's going to be even more exposure that comes. This defense is going to get challenged. So everybody needs to get really prepared for some games that are just going to be shootouts. They're going to be games where the offense is going to have shutdowns and the defense is going to have to come through. And there's going to be games where we saw the other day where it's just not quite on. You didn't play 2 good halves of football. You just want to see them being more consistent. You want to know what team you have. I think if we can take anything away from this, Detroit is a very disciplined team. Penalties have gone down quite a bit. I look in some of the comments. We talk about Gibbs. You talk about they just don't fumble. He had both hands on the ball. I'm going to give credit to the defensive back that came in blind off the blind. He had to have a perfect hit on Gibbs to get the ball loose. That's their job.
What hit the ball? Was that a helmet or was it an arm or what happened?
I think he hit his
It was
arm
a
and his helmet kind of got in there, but it's just a perfect placement.
Oh yeah.
Gibbs wasn't carrying the ball loose. He wasn't being reckless with it. He wasn't, we've seen them. If you go back and look, and I've looked at both he and Montgomery when they're running the ball and they're getting in traffic, they put both hands on the ball. I've specifically, and I always challenge people, listen, when we want to start, I'm never going to get on here and criticize or say something about a player if I haven't really gone in and done the detailed work, because we can all say things in impulsively or just kind of
emotionally,
but when you go in, there's just some things that are going to happen. You're going to have players who Jamo did a great job of catching one pass. He bobbled, he caught it. He still held on to it. There's passes that are slightly behind him that you can say, hey, if he dropped that, it's not a big deal. You blame it on the quarterback, but they catch it, right? It wasn't a perfect pass. So there's all kind of things that can happen. They're paid to make plays. You got to have playmakers, and you got to have.
I watched the last drive yesterday. I was like, look at me watching film. I'm just.
And for those of you who do have the ability to go back and you really want to get deep into the game of football, you really want to get into to elevating. We talk about leveling up. If you want to level up, sometimes as a fan, go pay an extra few bucks for the sideline and the coaches' clips. And then if you want to go back and look at a particular player or a individual or a scheme and truly see what they're doing, it makes the conversations definitely more engaging. It makes it more intense. And, if you don't care as much, then it's just taking it for what it is, for the entertainment that it is.
Yeah. I had a lot of fun with you back in, was it Coach Campbell's first year, I think. And we got to go because you were doing pregame TV, and so we got to go watch film of the receivers, which was, we should do something where people can win or pay for a film session with you, because it's really fun. You really do a good job breaking down. I don't want to say you do a good job like I'm telling you do a good job. Obviously you do, but it's really fantastic to sit there with you. The really fun part about it was that where we watched film was actually my old office, that they had blown out the walls, and now it's like a little conference room. So it was the first time I was back there in 9 years. It was kind of nostalgic. But yeah, you're awesome to watch film with, breaking down DBs and receivers.
It's just fun. It's fun. And I think if you are a person who loves sports, if you want to break down kickers, you want to break down defensive backs, because that's your fun thing, I encourage you, man, to go do that. Elevate your game in terms of what you think about the sport. So when you're in on these chats, you're in on conversations, you want to challenge you. I love for people to challenge me. I love to challenge people back. So, challenge the comments in a way in which you feel empowered by the fact that, you're up in your elevation and your understanding of the game, even if whether it's like me, you played at a professional level, or whether you're just getting into the sport. It's fun. It's a fun conversation. Let's go back. All right. So we got Ed. All right. He's asking about our opinion about DPI. Thoughts? I mean, I'm gonna just say this, and then Eazy, I'd love to get your opinion on the DPI, but there's always these penalties, and there's such an inconsistency that we have to figure out a system that will allow us to review or challenge penalties. You don't want to do it every play. There's a penalty every play that's called, and there's a penalty that's not called. It's just the imperfection of the game. I'm just telling you. But the offensive and defensive pass interferences, I almost think you can call them all the time in certain instances and situations. Or you can let it.
Did you see that one? Have you seen that one? I think it's on Netflix, where they talked to the NBA official and basically about how they're like, he called something on Jordan, and they're like, yeah, we want you to call that play, but not on him. And so the subjectivity of the officiating, which, I mean, come on, obviously, but it is, it's and that's the thing I always think is funny when people talk about conspiracies and stuff like that. It's not out of the realm. Come on.
It's not. That one was crazy yesterday. I mean, it wasn't that crazy, but I don't know, man. It's just timing of it, I guess it felt like they were trying to put Chicago in a situation to make it a good game, but it was already a good game. You have to give them the overtime like that, just hand it to them, gift wrap it to them like that. But like Herman says, that's one of those plays. You holding a DPI, you call every single play if you wanted to down there. Every single play.
I think that was a bad call. One, because it wasn't much there. I think both were coming back for the ball. I don't think that you had. I mean, even the receiver almost looked like he gave up on it. and that he wasn't going to get back to it, but he just happened to have defensive back just happened to have his hands just kind of near him. And I agree, Ryan. You know, it should have been more of a penalty versus just a spot foul.
Yeah,
giving them
like
that changed the whole thing of the game, and that's what I don't want. You don't want someone to just chuck up a pass, and then all of a sudden, there's a probability. Like you take a guy like Terran Arnold, who already has a reputation of being a holder, that's had so many PIs call. He's a rookie, so typically the referee's not going to show him any love. They're gonna definitely take it if he's going against a veteran receiver, and it's a big critical play. If there's any gray area, he's going to give it to the veteran player. And we got to take the subjectivity out of it in those critical places by saying, how do we bring in, whether it's replay or challenges on penalties that need to have a closer look because they were made in a moment by an official that may not have had the best vantage point, that may be changing the complete out,
what timing in the game was that?
That was right at the end. That was right near. That was in the
fourth quarter, right in the last drive. Like a review, like a
booth
review?
No, not on that one.
They just can call for a booth review if it's in the fourth.
I don't know if they can do. I don't know if they can do that on penalties.
Correct.
I think they may be able to do it on maybe on. I think maybe on like when you got 12 men on the field, whether you can go back and get a count or something like that. But I don't think you can pick up. I think for your flagrant fouls, on determining the severity of it, if it's certain things that happen. But I haven't seen where they have changed. Like it was a holding penalty, and they go, no, it's not a holding unless some other circumstance happened to where it wasn't a hold because of some other action that happened offensively or defensively. All I'm saying is that they really need to look at that because it's changing the game in a crappy way. And I think they need to get rid of some of these other rules and let these guys.
I just think it's funny that every year at the owners' meetings, it's like, hey, let's get together and see what we can mess up this year. Let's put some new rules in place.
Right.
I just think it's weird. But hey.
Herman,
go ahead.
I have one other question I want to ask you, and I know because we're running late here too, but the Jack Campbell hit on Caleb Williams, I thought that was kind of on Caleb for trying to get cute at the sideline, trying to pretend like he's going to run out, then not run out. Like you're going to get hit. You're in bounds. Like
he's a runner.
Made yourself subject to. Yeah, you're a runner. You made yourself subject to that hit. It's on you.
I'm glad that was a no call.
Me too.
But, because
obviously divisional game, that fan base, other fan base, and call it dirty. There was no flag on the play. Like, what are we doing?
I have to admit this. I think if we were in Chicago and that would have happened, I think that would have been a penalty. Officials, I think, sometimes can get caught into the environment as well. But quarterback runs, he's not sliding. He's open game. I mean, they teach him to slide. He has plenty of time to get out of bounds before that defender gets there. And he decided to try and make a little move. And as soon as he makes that move, you get hit. So a couple things I want to look at here. So real quick, if we can. I know we've been going for a little bit, then we'll start to wrap. I've been seeing a lot of comments about Ben Johnson. There's been some questions about some of the calls that he made, some of the play calls that he made as well. I do believe sometimes they can have things that are just going really well and they want to throw a wrinkle just to throw a wrinkle. And we've seen that. We've seen that kind of play out in different places on the offense. But, there's a system and a style that you get caught into that players buy and that the team buys into that becomes the kind of the ethos that defines them. And that becomes the expectation. We may see those as being risky. We may see it as being plays that should not be called and is unnecessary. But ultimately, they have to answer for those consequences and outcomes. Whether you want to get a guy running around, throwing passes who's your lineman, whether you want him going out on a pass play with your lineman, and all these other things. That's who they are. That's how they've gotten here. And I think they're going to stick with that. And I've said this all along. I don't agree with all the things that they do offensively, defensively. I don't agree with the way they play certain players certain times. And that's me as a fan, as a former player. That's my opinion, my attitude. It does not mean I'm right. It does not mean that they're wrong. It just means that, we all have accountability for the piece that we do. That's it. I like to see them just continue to do what they're doing. The running game is awesome. Watching these guys, I don't have a problem. I used to fear seeing them run on third down, especially third and over 5. But I don't fear if this team decides to take a third down and 8 and they hand it off to one of their running backs. You know,
Yeah.
they've been really, really good at sticking and holding true to the run game.
Yeah. When they do that, I guess the game plan is they know they're going for on 4th down. And that's why because they know certain third down situations, teams are putting in their pass personnel. And they're just hitting them with, David Montgomery. And now you got, a little nickel cornerback trying to tackle him. This is not going to happen.
Yep.
I'm looking at some stats. I apologize.
Herman, don't drop the passes when Eazy throws you a good pass.
Hey, Chris, what pass? Hey, what? Just a fan. What pass did she throw me, man? What'd you throw me, Chris?
Probably queuing up some like good conversation. I have no idea.
Okay, I won't drop it.
I have no idea. What's funny? We're talking about the officials. One of my favorites was I think we were in Tampa. I think this was the Mariucci era, actually.
Hey, you remember this now? Everyone doesn't know this. My camera. I'm gonna blink it off just for a second, but I'm coming right back. I already, CZ, I got to give y'all something special, man, for the holiday. Just before
Can
y'all
I
go
finish
there.
my story?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, it's all right. Go ahead. Do what you're gonna do.
No, go ahead.
The moment has passed.
CZ, please.
The moment has
By all
passed.
means.
Go be you.
Come on,
Go
CZ.
ahead. Go be you.
No, I'm gonna
be
step
you.
off.
No,
Listen,
here we go.
you do your
Ready?
thing.
Here we
I'm
go.
gonna step off. All right, I'm gonna step off just for a second. No. You do yours. Give me like 5
Please.
seconds, 10 seconds. Here. Give me the same amount of time that Chicago had to run that last play, and I'll come back prepared to show you what I'm gonna show you. All right.
Did you watch? Were you a fan during the Mariucci era? Eazy.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Too much of a baby.
Unfortunately.
Little baby. Yeah,
baby,
you were old enough.
Fits in front of my TV. Yeah.
Okay.
Because he came. He came after. Oh no, he was before Rod Marinelli, wasn't he?
Yeah. No, we had Mariucci, and then Dick Duran stepped in for a hot second to be the interim coach, and then we had. You just need attention, don't you? You just need attention.
I don't need no attention.
You just need attention.
I just want to say, what up, though?
Let's go ahead and let everybody know that I created that for our draft party a couple of years ago.
I'm just doing what I do. What up, everybody?
How did you get that from your mom?
I don't even know how I pried this away from her.
I gave that to her.
I don't know. She loves her son. That's all it is.
I gave that to your mom. She was so excited.
Oh, yeah?
You stole it? Yeah, exactly. What are we looking at? We're looking at Herman loving attention is what we're looking at.
Hey, man, who came up with those things, man? We did those at a party, man. That was just, it cracked me up. That's all.
And if you're talking about me, I oversaw digital media.
That's it. But
when I started social, I'm that old that I started social. So I started all the channels.
Damn, okay.
That's what's I'm up. That old.
Hey, we're not using the word old in the stream.
I'm that wise and seasoned and a veteran.
Seasoned.
I see you got a little zoo, you got a little zoo going on over there too. So
what was that?
You don't have any lions? You need to get some real cats over in there.
Well, here, hold on, look.
Please don't. Oh, okay.
What did you think I was gonna do?
I don't know. It's just I don't know you, man.
Please don't, says the guy who just got a giant head cut out of himself and put it on.
You know,
hey, I didn't do it.
Somewhere.
What are you looking for there, Eazy?
I always laugh, man. But hey, while y'all playing, man, hey, they told Eazy the other day that he looked like he was getting ready to make an announcement. Like he getting ready to announce people out on the stage or the field or something with the mic.
Introducing. I need to get a mic stand.
Who can do it? Can you do a Bruce Buffer? Can you do a Bruce Buffer, Eazy?
Oh no, Bruce Buffer's the best. He's truly the
greatest.
You think
he practices in the mirror at home?
Yeah, probably. I could do a good Bruce Buffer, but I'm just not gonna do it on here.
Time.
It's time. The 5 round.
I love when he like gets in their faces. Yeah. Wouldn't you pay a lot of money to have like a personal Bruce Buffer intro just to have it?
You can.
Is he on Cameo?
We should do a Lions Nation Unite intro. It's time. It's actually probably too expensive, to be honest with you. Hold on.
Who do you think leaves first, Aaron Glenn or Ben Johnson?
I think Aaron Glenn. I don't know. I'm literally just guessing. What's up, D?
That's for you, CZ.
These cats should be. Look. No,
I'm actually house sitting for my son, so I got Morton, who's here as a golden, and man, I'm telling you, I have to close my door because he comes in and starts pulling all this stuff out.
Why did I mess with this?
AG goes
all
first.
Right, well,
okay.
Hey, so before we go, let's talk some. What the heck are we doing now?
It's on the go.
Hey, so if y'all want to see how we get down over here at LNU, there you go, man. Listen, there you go.
And I just have a cat.
I think Chrissy's is jealous, honestly.
And I just have a cat.
You should put him on your head.
It's a her.
Her. Sorry, I don't assume I gender.
This is Leia the cat, and she's old. And then the 4-year-olds are back there.
Oh, come on now.
Herman, can you see out yours?
No, he can't see. All right,
yeah,
so hey, before we wrap up, let's talk.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's talk some swag before we wrap up.
Yeah.
So, did everybody see the walk-in yesterday with
the jackets?
With the jackets and everything, and with those guys walking in with Sonic and Knuckles?
I did. I think I know a spot. You get some pretty cool jackets.
They had some commercials.
I'm ordering mine today.
Yeah, we only keeping that up until Sunday night.
Yeah,
so
we got new ones coming.
Run.
And then we got
new run of those. We got canvases up too. If anybody wants their fan cave, we do not call it a fan cave.
You know what? CZ, order me, grab me one of those canvases from our store. I want to grab me probably one of those jackets. I already got the blankets. The blankets, I'm telling y'all,
40% off.
Those are my blankets.
Hey, time out. Is that 40% off on everything, or just?
No. I don't know where that. I need to figure out where that came from. Unfortunately, that will not work. I don't know where it came from.
All right. I'm gonna grab this hoodie. Actually, I think
I want one of the Under Armour ones.
I wear hoodies like people wear coats. I'll wear a hoodie as my coat. Yeah, it's the same thing.
The t-shirts, the print area for the t-shirts is really big, so the t-shirts look really good, and the blankets look amazing. Those blankets are really good too. I have like 20 of them in my house because we keep printing them as tests, and then we keep having them, and they're really worth it. You got the blankets, right, Eazy?
I have the Herman Lowe Green Bay one.
Yeah.
And I think I got the Chicago one, and I stole Spinny's Green Bay one. Did you see the cleats they had on yesterday too?
Yes.
Yeah.
When's that movie come? Is the movie out now? When does it come out?
I think it is. I know Moana 2 is out. I gotta take my son.
Moana 2. I like Hey Hey.
Hey. Blanky in the sweater.
Hey, D, we always like when you hit up our store. So go have at it.
All right. When is it? Oh, December 20th is Sonic.
Oh, 1 second. Kids out of school and they're fighting.
We should call up our friends, man, over at Imagine. See if we can get a nice little LNU fan base showing for families to come in and hang out when they do the drop there.
I was already planning on that, Mr. Herman Moore.
Beautiful.
I have a meeting this week to do just that. Here, hold on. Let me put links in there.
I feel like Habib, the old MMA fighter.
Yep. Yeah. Habib.
Herman, when are you going to put up the Miami Herman Lowe, where you guys are Miami Vice?
I'm gonna put those up. I think what I want to do is put those out as canvases. We have all the blankets. So I will say this. What I'd love to do during the month of December, all the way up until whatever the last day you guys want to do it. Let's give out the Herman Lowe blankets. We have I have a stash of those. I want to give those out. I'm gonna give away a few jerseys, some footballs, and I think I'm gonna give away some of these graded cards too that I have. I have to go in my case here and see what cards I want to give out. So for those of you that have been loyal, keeps coming back to our channel, keep coming back here. We're gonna make sure that we reward you just out of the kindness. We appreciate your time. You could be anywhere, but you choose to be here, so we appreciate you. Much love.
Absolutely. All right. So
Make sure
everybody
you
have
smash that
a
like button, too.
wonderful weekend. Happy shopping.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. What up,
What are you
D-Knock?
shop for, Herm? What are you going to buy? What are you going to pick up? What's your deals that you're going for?
That's a dope logo, D-Knock.
You mean like what I'm going to get from the store?
Yeah, like do you have any Black Friday deals that you like to do?
I'm going to the Black Friday food deals.
Yeah.
We're going to go eat.
We gotta start doing some food reviews.
So
Yeah,
anybody,
you guys can do
anybody
your-
know if someone's looking to give away all that stuff, let me know.
All right.
What's up, Dana? Yep. Dana, we'll hook you up. We'll get you one of those blankets. I'll get you one of the Miami Vice blankets. We got you.
Herm,
All right.
close us out, Herm. Close us out.
I'm close y'all out. Hey, listen, appreciate everybody. Time for you to go and sleep off that turkey. Go do whatever you got to do or whatever you ate yesterday and whatever you drink. So appreciate you being able to be present with us. Lions won. Lions got to 11-1. We're looking to now going to the next level, next place, next phase. Don't forget to like it, smash that button, follow us, tell your friends and your family and everybody to come out and participate, become part of this growing nation. We love you. We appreciate you. We're out of here.